everyone, Namaste. I am Devesh Purohit and I am the creator of the world's only PR intellectual property for legacy building of brands, which is Legacy Metrics. In this particular monologue, I will like to share about how poetries are a PR tool for legacy building of brands. And before that, I have captured my legacy metrics intellectual property as a whole in this particular book and registered the copyright as well. Yeah, it was necessary, वरना कोई भी चुरा लेता है. So yeah, theory of reference building, legacy metrics. This is the particular book. And coming to poetries. Okay, so my legacy matrix concludes that legacy is built in the culture, and poems have the power to penetrate the cultures. They can be passed on for centuries to come. They become a part of history and literature, and that's the beauty about poetry. And languages can be any, and they are translated in various languages through the course of time, depending on the nature of the subject, the interest, and the timelessness and the universality of the topic. So, and if you observe, the world's biggest epic, which is Mahabharata, it was written in a poetic manner, and even the Ramayana is written in poetic manner. And this is the world's most beautiful and enlightening book, which is Bhagavad Gita. It was written in Sanskrit poetry originally, and later on it has been translated in many languages in a poetic manner. And if you observe throughout the history, there have been thousands and thousands of kings, queens, but we remember only few of them, like Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj, Akbar, Maharana Pratap, Alexander the Great, Julius Caesar, Nefertiti, Cleopatra. Why so? Because these are the personalities on whom many poems have been written. And so it is, if you observe the most famous places in the world, Rome, Greece, Paris, London, Delhi, it can be New York. If you observe them all together, they are actually the places on whom many poems have been written, or many poems have mentions about them in their storytelling. So that's the beauty about poems, and they can be passed on for centuries, as I said earlier. And see, branding is all about storytelling. Poems also tell stories. And coming to this, another thing I would like to add on is, earlier as I spoke about the religious texts, there are even other religions have used poems to promote their ideas and preachings on brotherhood, humanity, and so on. In my limited knowledge, I have learned that Sikhism used ragas to put across their brotherhood and humanity messages. And even Buddhism has used shlokas and poetries to preach across that particular messages. And funny thing is, throughout the history, terrorists have also used poems to brainwash people. If you observe the case of Julius Caesar, I am forgetting the name of the personality, Mark Antony or somebody else. Earlier he was his friend, I forgot the name. That person used poetic slogans to brainwash against him to the Romans. Adolf Hitler has mentioned in his main camp that he used poems for propaganda, which is basically brainwashing and all. Evidences suggest that Osama bin Laden was a very skilled poet. Even now, in current scenarios, if you observe certain terrorist activities and all, so they do have some poetic mentions through slogans, or a poetry as a whole. And slogans are basically in the end poetry. Okay, they can be used by corporates, they can be used by personalities, politicians, so on. Like some of them most famous ones being "तुम मुझे खून दो मैं तुम्हें आज़ादी दूंगा." And the best thing is, suppose a person is not educated, they don't know to read, write. Still, poems are something that will register with them if they know that particular language. So that's the beauty about poems. Why it will register? Because it resonates with the cultures many a times. It is not only about resonating with the culture. Poems can actually create a culture as well. Okay, anthems. Every country has a national anthem. Anthem is basically a commitment poetry, and not only countries. Even organizations at times have, private groups have anthems. Schools, colleges also many a times have anthems. So it is the idea of being following a particular mission and being abided by certain ethics. Okay, so that is the beauty about poems in form of anthems, slogans. Even the taglines and jingles used in advertising and marketing, they are basically in the end a poetry. So sugar hai ki sugar hai, or it can be anything in the end. So Thumbs Up has used the alliteration of tea very well. Taste the thunder. Okay, And Shah Rukh Khan has used King Khan, the alliteration of K, is so well in his storytelling for personal branding throughout 2-3 decades. How you use those poems, it's all up to you for your brand building, for your image building. And when we say poems, let us not only stick to the written poetries, the textual formats. It can be visual poetries as well at times. The use of certain objects or metaphors at times. Okay, Shri Balasaheb Thackeray, a great leader from Maharashtra, he is a perfect simile and a metaphor of tiger. Okay, Atal Bihari Vajpayee ji, the former Prime Minister of India, he was a great poet, and many prime ministers and presidents across the world and the world leaders, they use poetries at times in their speeches when they visit other nations. And when last year, when our Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji visited USA, and at the White House, he said a poetry in Hindi. So poems have a cultural power, a soft power, and they can be passed on for centuries to come. And because they can be passed on for centuries, of course, they have a legacy element to it. And poetry is actually the very first element for legacy building of brands, as per my legacy metrics. So it is all up to you how you will use that. And let us say, consider even the example of Tata Group as a whole. So Tata is the personification of trust. Okay. So, and that is because of the testimonies throughout the decades. So how you use that, how you build that, what narratives you want to set, what is the message you want to give, what you want to be known for, these questions you need to answer. And I'm not saying that you need to be a poet to create a legacy. No, you can hire poets. Many theories suggest that Cleopatra and Nefertiti hired poets to uh, glorify their beauty. Many kings and queens have hired poets to glorify their kingdom, their wars, their personalities, and so on. So that's the reason we know about certain people, certain incidents, and all. Why? Because poems have been written on them. In the era of Akbar's era, अकबर के अलावा शायद ही किसी का नाम आता है, and that one person name we know is Maharana Pratap. He couldn't capture that Mewar region. That's a different thing. And there have been poems written on Maharana Pratap. Hare Ghasri Roti. There have been poems on his horse also, which is Chetak. And on his kingdom also there have been certain poems. And history's documents suggest that when somebody from the courtroom of Akbar sent a letter to Maharana Pratap, it was in a poetic manner. Kya aap Suraj बाय से होएगा, something in a poetic manner. So that's the beauty about poems. How you use them for your legacy building, it's all up to you. And poetry is not the only element for legacy building. There are a few more. So how you will integrate them, you will plan them. My legacy matrix gives a solution for legacy building of brands, and that's the beauty. And it took me 12 years to research and develop this. Thank you. Namaste.